Your one-on-one meetings with your manager have a direct impact on your career. Now, there's been a lot of guides written about how managers should conduct one-on-ones. I wrote one myself. But the truth is, employees own their one-on-ones. So I wanted to talk about how you can really own your one-on-one to best position your work, and if you're a manager yourself, your team. One-on-ones are crucial for making sure your work has impact. It's where you make sure your goals align with the organization, your work is synced with others, your manager knows what's going on, and that the work you're doing will be recognized. So make your one-on-ones useful. The first thing is to prepare, obviously. So create an agenda. I highly recommend having a one-on-one document that grows each week with the agenda and notes from afterwards. I'd create an agenda. Here's some ideas for what to put in your agenda. I would always start with relationship building, especially in today's remote environment. It's really important to take a minute to try to create that relationship. And you don't have to share anything super personal. You could even talk about the weather or something that happened in the news, but just take a minute to recognize that you're people and to kind of get settled into the meeting. Then in terms of work, I would never come with complaints or problems without a plan. So if you come with a problem, you should have a plan, and it includes your manager's help. Maybe you need them to go network with one of their peers or to reach out to another organization, but I would always pair the problem with the plan. You can ask for help. You can say, here's my plan, what do you think? Do you have any other ideas? Or here's 2 or 3 plans I've thought of, which one do you think will work? So don't come with just complaints and problems, come with problems and plans. But what should you share? What should be in the agenda? I would share any progress you've made. I definitely love updates that focus on what you've done, not what you worked on, so like what got accomplished. I would share any decisions you made, especially around priorities for your work. So what are you working on? What did you decide to do? What trade-offs did you make? Anything that involved a decision or a trade-off is something your manager is probably interested in and might have input into. I would always come with people that you need them to network with, or people that you think would be advantageous for them to network with. So if you heard about some work, or if you need help making a connection, this is one way they can really help you. Then I would share any news, internal or external in the industry, that you think they ought to know about or might be helpful to them. They might start sharing news with you too then. If you're a manager, I would give a heads up on how your team is doing. I would definitely highlight people that are doing well. I would highlight anybody who had something that your manager could reach out to. If someone on your team gave a really awesome demo or gave a really awesome presentation or finished a feature or got married, I would tell them and suggest that they reach out to them. They're going to appreciate being able to build their team that way, and the person on your team is really going to appreciate being recognized. If you want feedback, I wouldn't say, so how am I doing, or am I going to get feedback? I would actually pick a specific thing, like make it as concrete as possible, because that will make it as easy as possible for them to give you feedback, like on the spur of the moment. If you ask, how am I doing, it'd be better to ask, hey, in that meeting where I presented this idea, how do you think I did? What went well, and what could I do better? And then they can very specifically comment on it, and you're much more likely to get good feedback. Then the questions I would ask myself to see if I was missing anything: do I need help with anything? Is there anything that they could help me with? Will my manager be surprised by anything? So is there a release or an event coming up? If I'm a manager, is there an employee who's having trouble? Is there anything that could possibly result in a surprise to my manager? I'm going to give them a heads up. And then at the end of the meeting, I would always ask my manager, do you need help with anything? Is there anything I can help you with? Are you swamped? Or you got too much to do? Is there anything I could pick up and help you with? After the meeting, and I think this is almost as important as the meeting, is I would follow up in writing. I would follow up in writing in that document. You could answer their questions, add additional links there, and then I would take that and I would email it to them or post it in Slack or however you communicate with them. I would send it to them in writing. Your one-on-ones with your manager are a really important part of your career. Use them to share progress, news that your manager can share with others, any priority decisions you've made and what you're going to work on in the future, ways that you might need their help, so problems with plans and then how they can help with that, and then any news, internal or external, that you think they ought to know about. And always take the opportunity to ask how you could do better at specific things. and how you can help them.